local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. This is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. Thank you very much for joining us. We are live streaming here at the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom, something we do every weekday, starting around 1 p.m., going throughout the afternoon and covering a wide range of topics. Today, we are talking about what's right there on your screen, PDX Hip Hop Week, the 10th anniversary of this, starting back in 2015 and continuing on. We're going to let you know all about that. We're going to let you know what's coming up here for this week or going on already for it. And to do so, we've got the founder, somebody if you've been to a Blazers game, you know exactly who I'm talking about, or any other number of million different things that you do. DJ O.G.One joining us right now. And seriously, man, you are involved in so many different things, but this being one of them, naturally being the founder of Hip Hop Week. Good to have you here on the show.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So I want to hear a little bit about this, like the story behind this, of getting this going. You know, back in, I think it was 2015 was the start of this, and tell us how and why this came about.
Well, way back as early as 2013. I was involved with a lot of, doing a lot of club events and, particularly surrounding hip hop. And at that time, there was a big tension between the city and police and the hip hop community. And it seemed like at the time that there was a systematic shutdown of clubs and venues that primarily housed black and brown people and played hip hop music. And so there was this tension there, and Star Child, who was a co-founder with me of PDX Hip Hop Week, a lot of people were complaining, so he and I said, well, let's actually go to the city and ask them, do they want hip hop in the city or not? What is this thing? And so we spent 2 years talking with police, meeting with police, fire marshals, the mayor at the time, and one of the common things we found out is that no one was talking to each other. Everyone was operating on these silos, including the hip hop community. So there were these perceptions, some reality and a lot of it was misperception. And we realized, well, we got to start getting people together and having these conversations, because I think all of us had the same goal of having safe, events in our city and making sure that, people are thriving. And so we spent 2 years of that. And then we came to the conclusion that, okay, this is not going to happen overnight, so we're going to continue this work. But what kind of statement can the city make to say that, no, we want hip hop here, we just have to continue to work? And that's where Hip Hop Day was launched in 2015.
And so there's the start of it right there, and I think that's so emblematic too of so many things. Sometimes it's just people not communicating, not understanding one another, and then getting everybody together. I mean, that's a monumental task on its own right that you and Star Child did. Just getting people together to talk. And then, though, you get that going and going forward. I mean, obviously it worked as far as better communication and continuing, the celebration of hip hop in Portland, because we're at the 10th anniversary right now of this.
Right.
And so what's it been like, over these years, progressing, talking about from 2015 to now, and the city's relationship with the community and hip hop?
Well, as some people know, after we launched it, our first 2 years we spent in doing an event in front of City Hall. We blocked off the streets and we celebrated then. As some people that have been following my journey understand that in 2016, I got diagnosed with, stage 3 colorectal cancer. So I was going through chemo and everything while Star Child kind of took the lead at that time. As I was coming out of my situation, Star Child unfortunately passed away in 2018 from complications from cancer. And so from that point, I felt it was a real big mission that we needed to build Hip Hop Day in such a way where the community had more ownership into it. So I went back to the mayor and said, hey, we need to have more than just a day. We need to have a week of celebration, and let's format it where everyone submits an event that they want to, celebrate, and we set some parameters around it surrounding, the ultimate goal, again, of building together, making sure we have safe and inclusive events, and added to that, let's start honoring people that have contributed whether young or old, to the growth of hip hop. Let's do that and not wait till they pass away and have, hashtag moments. And so that became a criteria of submitting events, and it has just grown over the years. And, here we are 10 years later.
10 years later and doing that, and I love that too, celebrating now and that. And yeah, I'm sorry about Starchild too. I knew him way back in the day. And yeah, I'm sorry for that loss. When it comes to, this celebration, you mentioned, everybody submitting events. So what is it like now? Do you have a lot of people submitting events? And I bet it might get a little tough, like figuring out who's going to get the event this year.
You know what? Up until this point, I think we've had a good amount of people that have submitted, and I think some of it has been a filtering process, because once people hear about the criteria, then I think it deters some people away who might not, be willing to be accountable to things like making sure that it's inclusive, making sure that it is safe, which means that you have to do your due diligence with security and all those things, and you have to honor someone at your event with a tangible award to say, we see you and we appreciate your contributions. And then we have I would say, a give back component as well. If you're charging people for your events, we ask people to donate a portion to a nonprofit that supports the culture. So what that builds into, it changes the narrative of what oftentimes hip hop is being commercialized at, as it's just about me. Give me the bag, give me the attention, give me the fame, and at all costs. And so I was like, if we want to change the narrative of that, because that's not how hip hop started. So if we want to change that, we have to step up and create platforms where that is the cultural norm, that this is just what we do. We let the commercialized stuff do what it does, but here in Portland, we're going to trailblaze a whole different vibe in the whole culture surrounding hip hop.
I love that. And to that extent too, for these events, let's talk about this. Let's give some examples, maybe if we can, of just what are some of the events that people can attend this year.
Oh, wow. I mean, it's amazing the creativity that a lot of organizers have. So we have everything from hip hop bingo that's going on. We had our kickoff party with the mayor this week as well. We had Beyond the Beats, which was a hip hop screening talking about the history of hip hop, and some of this, some of its founders, as well as we got skating party, hip hop skating party. We have Laced Up PDX, which is giving shoes and school supplies to kids and families. We have Chic, which is out at Washington Square, that's doing a backpack and school supply giveaway. We have the the Wealth Walk, I would say, on Saturday, which is, again, bringing an awareness about how important it is for people in hip hop to be healthy. And so we're doing that all the way to our finale, which is the Star Wars, of course, in honor of Star. That is taking place at the Reeser Center for the Arts this year. And I mean, it's going to be amazing. We've got an amazing lineup of artists, and we're honoring some legendary figures that night that have been staples in the Portland community for decades, and as well as young people. And so it's a free event. It's a free event to the public. We just ask you bring positive energy and support.
I mean, what more can you ask for right there? I mean, and it sounds like, as you mentioned, those parameters that you set up, having all of those be a part of it, be a tenet of what each of these events is bringing to it. I think, what would you, if you had one message you'd want to send to the Portland community, or just the community in general, who may not be familiar with the hip hop community in Portland, what's the message you would want to send to them?
The message is really kind of my mantra. It's if we want to see different outcomes, we have to move different to win different. And I have a acronym that says be fluid, and that's being faithful, loving, unwavering, intentional, and determined. And I think if we take that concept and apply it to how we deal with our communities, deal with how we engage with each other, how we set the tone for events that we do, And of course, at the end of the day, how we even treat our own selves. I think we have no other option but to win.
Wow. Well, DJ O.G.One, for people out there who want to know more about when all these events are happening, what's the best place for them to go?
They can go to pdxhiphopweek.com or on Instagram, PDX Hip Hop Week.
Thank you so much for joining,
Thank
right
you
now
for
today.
having me.
Absolutely, and congratulations on 10 years of this. Obviously successful, and just bringing so many people together for this entire week, from a day to a week. I mean, that's really impressive. So thanks, man.
Thank you.
And for everybody watching, this is Fox 12 Now. We're going to take a break. We've got more coming up here throughout the afternoon, so thanks for joining us. If there's ever breaking news between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m., I'll be here for that as well. But yeah, download that Fox 12 Oregon app, kptv.com, or wherever you're finding us. Feel free to share these segments like this one that we just had. All right, I'll talk to you soon. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.